SCP-4277. Object Class: Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-4277-1 instances are to be housed in a secure greenhouse at Site-103. To promote healthy growth, SCP-4277-1 are to be supplied with appropriate metal salts. See Document 4277-4, available on request. Any instances of SCP-4277-2 harvested are to be cataloged and stored for future study. Discharge of SCP-4277-2 should take place in a sealed indoor firing range, with decontamination of the firing range after testing to prevent unintentional release of SCP-4277-2 spores to the environment. SCP-4277 cultivation centers outside of Foundation custody should be neutralized with the utmost urgency. All SCP-4277-1 instances that cannot be taken into containment during neutralization are to be destroyed on site. Any sites where SCP-4277-1 have been cultivated, or sites where SCP-4277-2 has been discharged outside of containment, should be monitored annually for signs of SCP-4277-1 growth. Description: SCP-4277 is a species of plant closely related to Vica faba. Non-fruiting SCP-4277-1 instances appear visually identical to V. faba, but PCR gene sequencing has shown the extensive modification to the parent genome. See Document 4277-3. These modifications allow SCP-4277-1 instances to produce cellular machinery, organelles, enzymes, etc., not found in wild-type V. faba, which, under appropriate environmental conditions, results in SCP-4277-1 instances fruiting fully functional ammunition, designated SCP-4277-2. Different SCP-4277-1 instances produce different types of ammunition, with cross-pollination having been shown to generate new types of ammunition. See Document 4277-1 Test Log. A partial list of ammunition grown includes 270 Winchester hollow points, 50 BMG armor piercing, 22 long rifle hollow point, 12 gauge shot, 625 carbine bullet, 308 Winchester blanks, Mark II fragmentation grenades. Document 4277-3 contains the full list of SCP-4277-2 instances cataloged, available on request. Examination of SCP-4277-2 instances has shown the presence of spores contained within the bullet or mixed with the propellant. These spores are dispersed on discharge of a SCP-4277-2 instance, and under favorable conditions will germinate to yield a new instance of SCP-4277-1. In order to fruit, SCP-4277-1 instances must grow in soil containing high concentrations of lead, iron, and copper salts. Through a poorly understood pathway, these salts are accumulated and refined within the cells of SCP-4277-1. SCP-4277-1 instances can produce a range of explosive propellants, including nitroglycerin, trinitrotoluene, and cordite. When not supplied metal salts, SCP-4277-1 instances will fruit much less often, and the ammunition produced is of very low quality. The quality of the ammunition and the propellant it contains depends on the SCP-4277-1 instance and the nutrients available to the plant during growth. Without proper care, munitions produced are very low quality, causing jamming and other fire malfunctions during testing. Testing has shown selective breeding and careful care during growth mitigates this effect, yielding high-quality munitions that excel in controlled tests. Investigations into the origin of SCP-4277 are ongoing. Foundation-held samples were recovered from a variety of locations. See Document 4277-2 Incident Log, along with documents indicating marketing of SCP-4277-1 as an alternative to arms manufacturing for developing nations. The high energy cost for SCP-4277-1 to achieve bullet growth coupled with the rarity of metal-rich soils in which wild specimens can flourish, means SCP-4277 struggles to fruit in the absence of active cultivation. However, SCP-4277-2 instances remain viable for decades if stored correctly, and SCP-4277-1 instances retain the hardiness of V. faba, which allows them to survive for years in the wild. 4277-1 Test Log. Procedure: cross-pollination of SCP-4277-1 instances was undertaken to generate new SCP-4277-2 instances. Test 1. 270 Winchester hollow point crossed with 12-gauge shot. Result: 270 Winchester shot. Note: new SCP-4277-2 instances are produced in a large crop but very low quality, frequently not firing in firing range tests or being too misshapen to be loaded into a standard firearm. Test 2. 270 Winchester hollow point crossed with M84 stun grenade. Result: 270 Winchester explosive. Note: the new SCP-4277-2 instances are produced in low yield and are prone to sudden detonation. Firing range tests postponed. Test 3. 12-gauge shot crossed with 50 BMG armor piercing. Result: 50 BMG flechette. Note: these SCP-4277-2 instances excelled in firing range tests but have been deemed impractical for manufacture. 4277-2 Incident Log. Incident 1. Location: Redacted, United Kingdom. July 13th, 1996. A raid by local police forces on a suspected cannabis farm found SCP-4277-1 instances being grown hydroponically, along with the relevant chemicals needed to ensure a high yield of SCP-4277-2. Foundation personnel within the police service acted to cover up the existence of SCP-4277, resulting in 20 SCP-4277-1 instances being taken into containment at Site-66 for further study. A follow-up operation secured all SCP-4277-2 instances produced by the Cultivation Center. Investigations into where the individuals running the Cultivation Center acquired SCP-4277-1 instances found evidence suggesting SCP-4277 seeds were smuggled into the UK and sold to criminal enterprises. Re-examination of illegal ammunitions seized by police in the wake of violent crimes showed roughly 5 to 11% are SCP-4277-2 instances. Cleanup locations in which these were discharged and removal of SCP-4277 from UK circulation is ongoing. Incident 2. Locations: Thailand, Cambodia, Laos. December 12, 2004. Members of Mobile Task Force Delta 5, Frontrunners, alerted the Foundation to interest from the Imperial Japanese Anomalous Matters Examination Agency, AJIMA, towards SCP-4277-1 cultivation centers operating on the Thailand-Laos-Cambodia border. Further investigation by Foundation agents found a widespread SCP-4277 cultivation network involved in the growth and exportation of SCP-4277-2 instances. Rapid deployment of tactical teams successfully contained 3 cultivation centers 12 hours before AJIMA forces arrived on scene. Initial analysis suggests the majority of SCP-4277-2 produced was being sold to local militias and criminal organizations. The region is currently being monitored for further activity. July 22, 2006. Continued anti-cultivation operations in rural Thailand, Laos, Cambodia deemed successful. Results: 12 SCP-4277 cultivation centers neutralized. 144 new SCP-4277 instances contained. 16 crates of SCP-4277-2 recovered. Redacted Foundation personnel killed in action. Documents and computers recovered from cultivation centers show SCP-4277-2 export across Asia. but it is believed the majority of SCP-4277-2 instances produced by the cultivation network have been contained. However, work with local law enforcement agencies has uncovered a large number of small-scale urban SCP-4277 cultivation operations. This is thought to be a result of SCP-4277-1 instances being acquired from the location of violent crimes where SCP-4277-2 instances were discharged, often growing from or near the bodies of individuals executed with SCP-4277-2. Containment of urban SCP-4277 cultivation is ongoing. Incident 3. Location: Kansas, United States of America. April 16, 2007. Agents M and K reported wide-scale SCP-4277 cultivation in Kansas, United States of America. Further investigation led to the deployment of a Foundation tactical team to detain the individuals undertaking SCP-4277 cultivation and secure samples of SCP-4277 for analysis. Subsequent analysis by Foundation botanists determined the specimen to be V. faba. Agents M and K were disciplined for misuse of Foundation resources. Incident 4. Locations: Congo Basin, Africa. September 5, 2009. Following the discovery of SCP-4277-1 instances growing at the site of a recent skirmish near redacted Democratic Republic of Congo, Agent Y began investigations into large-scale SCP-4277 cultivations along the Congo River, Africa. Preliminary reports suggested that the river is being used as a route to move shipments of SCP-4277-2 to buyers within the Congo Basin, and ultimately to the Atlantic Ocean, allowing widespread dispersal of SCP-4277-2. Covert monitoring of ports has been established to prevent SCP-4277 leaving the Congo Basin via seaborne flight, while containment of cultivation centers is ongoing. October 6, 2009. A dead drop from Agent Y shortly before her disappearance claims that the Chaos Insurgency is involved in SCP-4277 cultivation within Africa. Agent Redacted claims that the establishment of SCP-4277 cultivation centers can be traced to activity of Chaos Insurgency assets. The report suggests Agent Redacted was attempting to acquire further evidence for this claim at the time of her disappearance, against the instructions of her handlers. Agent Redacted is currently missing, presumed dead. October 29, 2009. Materials recovered from the containment of a SCP-4277 cultivation site within the Congo Basin confirms indirect management and/or establishment of the site by Chaos Insurgency assets. While individuals contained at the cultivation center were not members of the Chaos Insurgency, mature SCP-4277-1 specimens and SCP-4277-1 spores were supplied to the individuals operating the cultivation center by known Chaos Insurgency assets. Further operations to neutralize all SCP-4277 cultivation within the Congo Basin are ongoing. December 23, 2009. It has been established that SCP-4277 cultivation is endemic to the African continent, where climate allows. Currently, a majority of cultivation sites have been linked to SCP-4277-2 shipments from the Congo Basin, both by sea and over land, although some sites to the north of the continent have been traced to SCP-4277 cultivation centers in Thailand contained by the Foundation between 2004 and 2006. A pattern has been established of cultivation sites first appearing in unstable regions as a result of Chaos Insurgency agitation, followed by a rapid spread in SCP-4277 cultivation in the region. As previously documented, discharge of SCP-4277-2 in urban environments leads to small-scale cultivation of SCP-4277-1 instances recovered from the sites of violent crime. Though Chaos Insurgency assets are encouraging SCP-4277 cultivation, once established in a region, new SCP-4277 cultivation centers will be established without Chaos Insurgency intervention. The demanding care of SCP-4277 currently limits the rate at which cultivation spreads, allowing cultivation centers to be contained faster than they can be established. The most pressing goal for SCP-4277 containment is the tracing of SCP-4277-2 shipments before they can be discharged or the spores within harvested. March 1st, 2010. SCP-4277 cultivation pandemic confirmed. Cultivation sites have been discovered in the Americas, Asia, and Europe. Cultivation center discovery and containment rates are currently equivalent, and without a major allocation of resources to SCP-4277 containment efforts, will remain preventative rather than curative. The allocation of these resources is currently under yearly review, pending evidence that current measures are insufficient to maintain the status quo. Due to the influence of Chaos Insurgency assets and establishment of cultivation centers, concern has been logged that the allocation of Foundation resources to SCP-4277 containment may fuel long-term Chaos Insurgency operations to divert Foundation resources away from the areas that are of interest to the Chaos Insurgency. Containment of known sites is ongoing, or possible under the guise of anti-drug cultivation operations, and known SCP-4277-2 shipments are being tracked and seized.